Hello, hello. Yes, watching. We go. I'll give it a few minutes for people to come in. Mm. Yes. Go ahead and plug this in. And that's hello, hello. So today you guys are doing meds with me. Just thought that, hey, if you've never seen someone do meds through a feeding tube and stuff, we can show you. Not going to show you like everything because can't, um, but we go through it a little bit. Mm. While we just had a chat. Bear with my voice. This is both a mixture of testosterone and just morning voice. I had a little bit of irritation. Oh, I need to fix my hair. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy hair. And I had some irritation to my throat last night because my roommate was he uses way more baby powder than he needs to the point of it comes through the vents. And so my voice got a little bit irritated from that yesterday. But this is kind of morning voice, and my voice is starting to drop from the tea. Um, those of you who don't know, when I say tea, I mean testosterone. But yeah, so we're gonna get a couple of my morning meds done. Currently, I'm opening my Pedialyte because that is what we put through my feeding tube as water. My feeding tube gives me both my nutrition and my hydration. Um, and I get roughly 2 liters of Pedialyte in a 24-hour period. The reason we do Pedialyte instead of water is because my potassium always drops really low. Partly that's just my body being weird, and partly that's because I drain my stomach. But I'll give you guys a kind of a look at what it looks like to kind of what a feeding tube setup looks like. First off, it has a bag right here, but I'm going to fill it and then I'll show you guys because it's going to yell at me otherwise in a minute. Just getting in the way. There we go. And then there's this. So I'm currently going to be working on not today, but I'm currently working on designing a kind of little apparatus to go inside my backpack to keep everything upright and tall. But this is my feeding tube pump. I need to get a new one. This one is not working very well. And then this is the bags. And this one has formula. The purple one is formula, and the blue one is hydration. This is usually full. I go through one of these a day, and I go through 2 of these a day. But currently, it's running. I'll let it run until I kind of get to the point where I can um, turn it off to throw my meds in my tube. But what we're doing right now is getting some antihistamines in me. Mm. Um, yeah, we're getting some antihistamines in me because I am just itchy as heck. Mast cell is not being nice to me lately. I ended up needing Benadryl about 5 times yesterday. And yes, I take a lot more than is normal because of the mast cell activation syndrome. We require very high amounts of antihistamines. Um, so yeah, but we got to do meds and we got to do my IV. And so I thought I would take you guys along for the ride. It kind of needs to be standing. I made this backpack. It's not great. I I was trying to make it a way and it didn't work out, so it's kind of a flop. But it is what it is. I know next time how to do it better. Well, it did not do what I wanted it to do. All right, here we go. Lord, that's too much. We're also doing some liquid Imodium. And I don't know if I can mix that with the Benadryl as far as mix them together, but we're gonna put it in. So first things first, with a feeding tube, you can't obviously put in pills, so you have to crush them up. I have an electric pill grinder because I got really tired of the hand crank one. Really tired of it. And my morning dose of meds is not always the same, but slightly. I start off with a double dose of Pepcid, which is both an heartburn medication and an antihistamine. Certain heartburn medications have an antihistamine. Next is Claritin. I do 2 of these in the morning and 2 of these at night. Cups. And then we do 2 Zyrtec. And this morning, I'm going to go ahead and throw in 2 Benadryl. The best dose for me is about 100, but I don't want to be a complete zonked out mess. So 2 it is. But that is my morning dose of meds typically. Like I said, with mast cell, we have to take massive amounts of antihistamines. I also take a mast cell stabilizer, which is Singulair, which is actually also an allergy medication and it's an asthma medication. So one reason my asthma is well controlled. Pardon the noise, the dogs are downstairs. And then we just press the button and set this aside and let it grind. It's probably going to be loud, but and then I always check it and we're quite done. This thing saved me like 5 minutes with each time I do meds because otherwise I had to hand crank it. And that wasn't really that cool. My hands were getting really sore from it. Part of my crazy dogs. Mine, my roommate's crazy dogs. But this is about 20 milliliters, or not 20, 15 milliliters of water. I have to do as small volumes as I can. And we just swirl that up. Normally this is bright pink because I do the 4 Benadryl. You can't really see it as bad today, but I am reacting to the shower guard that I wear over my port for the shower. I was covering my port every shower, like doing a full-blown shower every time I needed to change a diaper. Which I'll explain if you don't know what's going on with that. I'll explain that. But I am reacting to it really bad. I'm broken out up on my neck and all down my chest from it. So, needless to say, I'm kind of miserable in that aspect of things. So, I am taking the antihistamines. I don't always take a morning dose of antihistamines. A lot of times I will just wait and see what I need throughout the day. But today is one of those days where I'm just itchy as heck and I'd rather not have raw skin. No, you're not the one I'm looking for. This poor syringe. This syringe is about to be thrown away right after this. And you just mix up the meds till they're kind of dissolved. And then you pull them up. Pull them up in the syringe. This little topper here, we call it a Christmas tree adapter. And I don't use this with my tube, but it's really handy for pulling up meds and getting it all up. Otherwise, if you just use that end, you don't get all of it like you should. So that's why I use the Christmas tree end. They used to have all feeding tubes have that Christmas tree connector, but they're changing that. They've been working on that process for about 3 years now because people um, were not being careful enough, and the different connections of things were all the same type of thing. Hang on, I gotta sneeze. Um, like for example, we have an IV, which is a lure lock. We have NFIT, which is the heating tube adapter. It used to be a Christmas tree, or a legacy adapter, which is what my G tube. I can't. No, this is hard to show, but I'll try. Um, this is what it looks like, and you have a little piece that just pops in there, also known as a slip tip or catheter tip. Um, so for the purpose of draining your stomach, that particular connection is better than an NFIT. NFIT screws in. Um, but people were getting it mixed up with different things, which is just baffling to me that people could mistake a feeding tube for something else. Like the example given was that people were putting like feeding tube stuff down trachs or trachs down feeding tubes or whatever. It was just like, wow. So this has been a 3-year switch over. They've been working on this for 3 years to get everything for feeding tubes switched over to NFIT, which has been a chore and a half. A lot of people, a lot of hospitals don't do feeding tubes often, so they have stock of legacy and not NFIT, things like that. Thankfully, my hospital is pretty up on things, and they do NFIT. NFIT is also way better because it screws in, whereas with the legacy, you just pop it in, and it is very susceptible to being too much pressure and pushing it back out and all that jazz. I hate legacy. But thankfully, my hospital does NFIT, and I don't have to struggle with that. Okay. The other benefit to having the legacy adapter, though, is that I can take it and use it in a bottle top for a med. I forgot to shake that up first. This is Imodium. It is an anti-diarrhea medication. It kind of just slows the gut, not slows the gut down, but it helps and this is not going to be enough, so I'm going to have to get, I didn't know it would do that. I'll have to get a second syringe of that one here in a minute. That's a lot of volume for my body to absorb, so we're going to, oh hey, it just flushed, which means I don't have to put all that volume back in. All right, we're going to place this on hold, and that'll stop it from running. And soon as this already flushed for me, normally my pump flushes every hour, and sometimes my need to take meds does not coincide with my flushes, and I have to flush before I take my meds. So here, let me cover up a little bit so we can actually kind of show the process of it a little bit better. But next thing we do is after we stop the pump, we go ahead and unscrew this part. Not gonna do that 1 second. Give it a little shake, make sure all the meds are mixed in. Push that through. A little bit of water, just a little bit, like 10 mils. And then we're gonna switch, close this up, switch this top to this. I gotta get the pill version of this. I didn't really think it through, but I'm so used to doing them liquid because it used to be better, but now pills are just fine. I do a bigger dose of this stuff than most because I have no colon and I need a massive amount of this stuff to do anything. It's very pretty colors. Teal and purple are very pretty together. Oh, those. But this will slow my gut down a little bit for the day because Lord knows I need that. It's so pretty blue. It's a pretty green. Okay, there's that one. There's that one. And I'm gonna normally I would give this about 50 or 30 milliliters, but because this flushed, ugh, that's dirty. Let's clean that off. Because it flushed already, I don't need to do that because there's another like several mils that will be in here. Clean this off just because it's kind of gross. And actually, I think we're gonna go ahead and clean this one off too. I'm gonna get rid of this anyway. So this is a foam molder. Normally, I do this in the shower, but I also do this sitting here because the threads on this get really gunky. You can't really tell from there, but they get really gunky. So we just kind of take this and put it into the end of it, not don't screw it in, and we just gently flush it, and it gets all that gunk out. And if it doesn't get all that gunk out, which it doesn't always, warm water would be better, but I don't have warm water in me. And I'm gonna go ahead and clean this bit out because this bit gets gross too. Ta-da! Start cleaning, get this whole cleaned off, and then we screw this back in, and then we can turn on this pump, and it'll finish pushing all that water and med through. Okay, that's done. By the way, what's your ear? Uh, my ear itches. I don't know where my chat went. That's weird. Where's my chat for this? Let's. I move things and I don't know why I moved them. Yeah. I don't know. That's better. Anyways. By the way, I don't know if you guys saw my visitor over there sleeping. He hopped up on there this morning. Right. I'm gonna throw this into a container just so it's not open in the bag. And toss this in the garbage. That part is done. Now we move on to the IV part of things. And then this cart right here is like a three-tiered cart. This goes over on that corner. And we're gonna start with my IV. And I run 1 liter of normal saline every day. It runs for 4 hours. So the nice thing is I don't have to be hooked up to this every moment of the day. But obviously, this is a sterile procedure. You have to be very careful with this. So I take this and I pop that off. And then we hold that and make sure nothing touches that tip anymore, except for this. Take that off. And then we spike the bag. Push that all the way in. And now we have, you don't have to do this, but I like to do this because of the way my bag is currently. I have to get all that air on the top out. Oh, and it's going very quickly today. Hang on. It's gonna get wet on me, isn't it? Where's that end? Let's not get drenched, please. We go. And then we can flip that upside down. It's gonna do its job pranking. And this is just getting all the air out of the tubing. There it goes. And then we take this little piece off. There's a little thingy. We push that off. And it stops that flow. Because this IV tubing is set up for a pump. I can't do gravity because I am not able to use an IV pool in my house. So, next things we do is turn this on and check my batteries because I think I need to put new batteries in today. And it's a loud beep. It might make it through today. We'll see. Yes, program. Repeat, not resume. Yes. And then we put it in. Like so. This one goes into a little slot there. Ta-da. And comes over on this side, and this little blue thing goes into a little slot on this side. If I can get it right. Sometimes it's hard to get it. It doesn't want to twist properly. And normally at this point, I would close this off and tell it to prime, but it primed itself today, which is nice. And then that just sits there for a minute while I take this and get it ready. Sterilize it. You're supposed to do about 30 seconds. No, I do 30. But given I did not have a cap on it yesterday, I'm going to give it a really good scrub. I forgot to do some of the finishing parts of this. Every day you're supposed to, when you're done with your infusion, you're supposed to flush with saline and then heparin. Because this is the central line, it goes directly to my heart. And check for blood return real quick. Got good blood return, means the needle's still in. Flush that. And then, boom, just toss that. And then you twist off the little blue cap and put it on that one. And now we're ready to go. I guess I'm not changing my shirt for a while because I forgot to do that. It's not saying the batteries are dead yet, so I'm going to go ahead and not change them. It's probably going to yell at me in a while, though. And next thing we do is just tell it to run. And it runs for 4 hours at 250 mils an hour. We then go over to my backpack that I have modified myself or made myself. And we have it all set up for feeding tube. And then in the middle is my IV. The reason I do that is so that it's kind of balanced. If I'm not running an IV, there's not a ton of stuff all in one corner. I am working on an apparatus for this though, so that it's not shit. Fuck, damn. Let's put that under there. I did. I gotta fix it. Gotta fix it. There we go. Ba-ba-ba-ba. And it's ready. And I just zip this back up, leaving a little opening on the side. I'll show you. And all my tubing comes out that end. Push that away back to its spot, which I will do in a minute. Ta-da! And that is all done. Until 4 hours later, when I take this one off. Alrighty. And that's my meds for now. But as you guys can see, my neck all the way up is all broken out. You can see it all up here. And then down my chest. Oops, there we go. I hate this reverse camera. Down, you can literally see like the square of where it was. And Simon, I'm sorry, but I need my pillow or my plushie behind my back. And yeah, that is meds for me. In a little while, I will probably be taking a shower. Once I need a diaper change, I'll shower. But for now, I just hang. I just hang out and do things. I do need to do some, if I'm up to it, I do need to do some sewing today. I need to go to the fabric store, which is actually, I can't sew what I was planning on sewing because I need to go get thread. I bought white thread, but it just doesn't match the one project I'm doing. So I need to go buy the proper color thread for it. Hello, Simon. I don't know why he's sitting up here. It's not his typical spot, but I think it's because I put a pillow up there. He's like, oh, I'm going to sit here. He got his little leg like stretched out. Hi, baby. Hi, sweet boy. Yeah. So yesterday, I kind of stressed myself out a bit. Those of you who were here the other day, we were talking about how I was having complete bowel incontinence lately. And that doesn't seem to be letting up in any way, shape, or form. Given that I'm not really getting as much signal to go, like any, um, it's not something I can really work on. I could technically time myself and go sit on the toilet every hour to 2 hours and try to go. However, in my case, I get like fissures and hemorrhoids if I do that. If I strain and stuff, I end up with that. So I prefer not to do that. Plus, I'm quite honestly, I'm already in a diaper. I'm already, wet. I might as well just like it doesn't bug me except changing the little bit, but it's like it's a lot easier on my stress level if I'm not setting a timer and going to the bathroom and trying and being able to. Um, so I'm currently just not even worrying about it. I'm just letting my body do what my body's doing. Um, I've been at incontinence for 13, 14 years now almost, and no, 13 years. On the 4th, it'll be the 13-year anniversary of the last time I wore underwear. So, yeah. Um, it's not a huge surprise that I'm dealing with this. I've battled bowel incontinence on and off since 2005. Um, Normally, I would have very little warning that I needed to go, or I just because everything was liquid, I wouldn't have time to get to the bathroom. There have been times where I've taken a voluntary break from using the toilet to heal a tear in the intestine because quite honestly, sitting on the toilet is actually one of the worst positions you could be in for pooping. So, um, there were times I did that to heal. By getting in the proper positioning, it was allowing the bowel to empty properly and not causing that strain and stuff like that. So, um, I've done that in the past. However, this is very different. And with that difference comes the mental side of it being different. But I'm coping. But it was interesting because I was thinking, because I think we're currently averaging about 5 diapers a day since the bowel incontinence happened. So that's double what I was using. I was going through changing about twice a day. So I'd have a night diaper. In the morning, I wake up and change. Somewhere throughout the day, I change again, usually right before bed. And then I'm in that night diaper. Now, every now, sometimes there would be 2 changes during the day. So I would go through night diaper, another diaper, and then night diaper. Um, so it averaged out about 3 every 24 hours. We're going about, I'm doing I'm basically kind of figuring out my needs with it, and and so I'm marking down every time I change my diaper, um, so that I can calculate how many diapers I'm going to need. My calculation is 5 a day right now. That's what I've kind of like guessing I have been doing, and so that means I will need. Typically, I get 80 for a month. Um, and I usually have some carryover from the previous month too. So it's not, it averages about 90 diapers a month. But currently, I'm going to be needing 155 diapers in a month, which is just about double because of the way the cases come. I need to order, I need, so a case is 80. So 20 is 100 plus another 55. So I'm using like an extra 75 diapers. So I have to buy an 80 case, obviously. So now I have to buy 280 cases instead of 180 case. And a case of 80 of my typical diapers is $230. So we're looking at nearly $500 just in diapers, which is half of my income. And it's stupid. Yes, I can get some diapers covered through Medicaid. However, I have severe rashes with those, like severe rashes, like bleeding but like crazy. So for me, it's not really an option. Um, and I obviously do things like check around to see if other people have anything, like Facebook Marketplace and shit like that. There's nothing that I can use on there at the moment. Like there's just nothing because I do use the high end diapers. People are not selling those; they're using them. So I'm running into the problem of I can find Depends, Attends, and Prevail on there really easy, but I can't wear those. Um, Lots of pull-ups available. I can't do pull-ups. I would literally be shit everywhere. So I can't do those. But there are some like technically I could do like the more medical ones like North Shore has some, but honestly they don't function as great for me. Um I like the Velcro tape. Like if they had Velcro tape, I would totally consider it, but they don't. I like the Velcro because for me it offers adjustability. Um, when I was using the toilet, it was offering the ability to untape the diaper and put it back on multiple times. Which adhesives I usually can get one, maybe two before the tape gives out. So now that's not such a big deal. So that aspect doesn't matter as much. But I even then thought like, okay, well let's think about other diapers that I could get. And I'm like, what about, my Mega Max are almost as expensive as all the other ones. Crinkles are just as expensive as all the other ones, and they don't have a landing zone. Um, does that really matter? Not necessarily, especially if I'm not taking the diaper on and off. Um, but my favorite for function is Tykables. They just function beautifully. So long as I do a floor change, not a standing change, I don't really leak them. With the bowel incontinence, depends a little bit on the consistency on if it leaks or not. But I've only had to change my bedding once in the last week or so with all this going on. So I'm probably going to stick with Tykables because the price difference is not that much. I don't think. I could do the math. But I'm also probably going to try Pretend Agains, which are like a cloth back diaper. I'm not typically a huge fan of cloth back because of how they act when they're wet. They feel very dense. But with the messy diapers, I really don't care. Those Pendegans are really cute. So we do the math here. Just to take with you guys. I need to do the math anyway for my head, but let's see. North Shore Megamix. So I'm sliding down slowly in my thing. By the way, guys, I had the worst sleep yesterday or last night. I didn't get to. I started falling asleep around 3. I think was it 3? Yeah, I slept for a very short period of time, and I woke up in a lot of pain from my stomach, so I was up till 8 o'clock. Partially because I got distracted by hanging with Chloe and a couple of friends from Australia. We were watching. They were playing Minecraft, and I was watching them play because I didn't want to get up and play. Well, I wanted to, but I knew if I did that, it would make me more awake. I think I need to change my book very soon. I'm pretty drenched from last night still. I haven't changed yet. I usually wait to change till after a morning bowel movement, but sometimes that's not real great for my skin. Anyway, let's do the math on the premium medical diaper versus the um wait, did they go up in size? Holy shit, they might have. Interesting. Let's see here. I want to. Oh, wait. North Shore Megamix. I think that was the pull up that was going up in that size, but I could be wrong. Anyway, so North Shore Megamax, we're gonna go product size. Oh yeah, they did. They went up to a 2XL. Wow, that's nice. That's a really good thing for them to do. It is so hard to find diapers when you're bigger. But I go with their XL, and let's just tie dye because I obviously would get tie dye. Now they come in cases of 40, and they are 124.99. And I believe shipping does not start until uh that amount. Trying to see if they have their shipping thing on here. So typically that would include shipping. So if I was to do 40, I would need 4 of those. 4 of those at 125. So let's do that. Well, let's see if they let me add it to the cart and just see what shipping costs would be. Free shipping on orders of 125 or more. Their cases are 124.99. That's some A grade bullshit right there. And shipping tends to be like I think $25. Let me double check this. Now, mind you, if I were ordering, I should calculate this without shipping, just because. Let me go to the checkout and see what shipping is, just to. But it would be free shipping for me, so I'll calculate that out without shipping. Login. Continue as a guest. Let's proceed. I'll check it with both of them. Continue as guest. Fuck, they're gonna make me plug everything in, and that's annoying. I just want to know the shipping one. I think they have $25 shipping. Either way, that doesn't really matter for us. So we're gonna go clear 124.99 divided by 40. That's $3.12 per diaper versus 230 divided by 80. That's 287 per diaper. So it's actually cheaper to go with Tykables, which is why I've been using Tykables, is because it was cheaper. Now, the one brand I'm going to try out, the Pretend Again, is 270 for 80, and that is just slightly more expensive than North Shore. It's not going to be probably my usual go-to unless they function really well, but I do want to try it out for a month and see how they are. Um, they're really cute, really, really cute. When they're a cloth back. The cloth back are nice for the fact of they are a little bit quieter at times. Well, they crinkle less. They rustle a lot, but they crinkle less. But you know, um, cloth backs can be okay. I love the potty monsters. Like I've really been enjoying those ones. I think they're cute. They are a bit dense feeling for me. Um, so I tend to steer toward the polybacks. But Packables potty monsters are pretty good. I haven't tried anybody else's really because no, no, not North Shore. ABUs don't fit me currently because they went to the smaller sizing. The sizing is bullshit. So, but yeah, I'm looking at for diapers. And this coming month, because of the incontinence and stuff, and the bowel incontinence. Normally, if it was bladder incontinence, I could just whip a diaper on standing up, have no problem. I am finding, yes, I get a better fit if I lay down and do the diaper change. That's hard for me to do on my own. I am doing it. Well, I do all the cleanup in a standing up position or in the shower. I'll just get in and rinse everything off and then wash off and come in and lay down on the diaper and do the cream and everything and step it up. So I do like a technically a lay down change. I will be doing lay down changes when my partner arrives and is helping me with these changes. Because my God, you guys, it is rough having dysautonomia and everything and being doing the up down changes. Like my body is it's hard to get down on the floor. Um so having the help for that will be amazing. I'm currently like when this happens you have to kind of readjust a lot of things in life. And right now I'm in the process of applying for an aid. And at this, up till this point, it's been purely for like helping out with the household stuff. But it looks like we're probably going to have to also have them do some possible hygiene stuff as well if this keeps up, because having the help to change is kind of going to make things a lot better. At the very least, it would be hey, I'm going to have somebody here while I shower just to monitor. Um, I am doing pretty stable. I am pretty stable with my pots for the most part, so it hasn't been too horrible. It's mobility that's more of a factor right now in the whole changing diaper thing. But anyway, this month is going to be a lot of purchasing products that I'm not usually purchasing, like getting a change mat for travel, so for on the go. And that one has to be a pretty decent size because I don't personally, we don't have handicap like adult changing tables here, which sucks. It should be a thing. Um, but so we'll have to do any changes like on the floor. And we can't do them in the car really because A, we always have a wheelchair in the back of my car. And B, we can't like if we were doing it in the back seat, there's just not the mobility that we would need. Trust me, shit would get everywhere. So being able to go into a family bathroom and change the diaper on the floor is going to be key. So I have to get a mat that at least covers from my butt to my head on the floor. Um, and I am not a diaper cover person. I personally hate them, but I'm probably going to have to start using them when I'm going out, at least for anything past a quick trip to the grocery store. So like medical appointments, things like that. Probably wouldn't use it for the ER because, we can get a room and change my diaper um if need be. So, but like when we do a Kansas City run for an appointment and we're kind of gone all day, it's inevitable. I am going to have a messy diaper at some point in that phase. So we need to be prepared for that. So we're going to get those. We're going to probably get some plastic pants. If any of y'all have suggestions for plastic pants that are comfortable, I struggle with tight things around my leg. Like the diaper is about as much as I can handle. So tight things around my leg kind of suck. However, I'm going to do what works best. Normally, I would do like a PUL cover, but um, those are a little more expensive and harder to find. But if I can, I will do so. But it's for sheer purposes to lock in the smell a little bit, just to give me that little bit of confidence on it's not going to stink as bad, and B, make sure that we're not leaking. Um, so, but yeah, I'm not looking forward. I know my big is kind of okay with that aspect of it because it's just the thing, but I'm not looking forward to that bit. But also, I have to buy a mat. I need a mat for my house as well, just because we have animals. Hair is everywhere. You know, little things are everywhere. Like in my food, my cats have catnip. That's on the floor. I'd have to vacuum several times a day just to keep it, where I would like it for diaper changing on the floor. But also having a mat is really nice because then I'm not risking getting poop and pee on the floor. Like 'cause with me, I have no feeling in my bladder, and in the last week I've peed on the floor about 3 or 4 times, stuff like that. So no, my computer just came up like that's okay, it's full. So changing mats around the house are going to be needed too. So I'm hoping to get one for travel and maybe two for around the house, um, so that we can do changes like that. And then we're probably going to have to get a diaper bag, which will probably just be a backpack. But I have my feeding tube and my IV in one backpack. I can't fit everything I need for changing in that backpack as well. Um, Maybe in my tactical backpack, but still, I'm going to be having a change of clothing, at least one change of a diaper, probably two. Depending on the day, it might be three. I will need wipes. I will need gloves. I will need diaper rash cream because with my body, I have to wear cream if I am having messy accidents. I have to because I have no colon. My body does not absorb the acid. It literally burns my skin within minutes. So having a barrier cream is extremely important. So having one of those, having a changing pad, having um, wipes, gloves, diapers, clothing, because yes, poop gets on my clothing with this. Why does that feel wet right there? I hope I didn't through there. But we can't fit all that and my feeding tube supplies in one backpack, except for maybe my tactical backpack. But that's a lot for me to carry. So we will be probably getting another backpack or some sort of diaper bag for medical stuff. Um, which means we can also start carrying some medications I might need on the go, things like that. But yeah, it's a little bit of a situation. It's just like, you gotta be kidding me. So, like this month, I'm gonna be broke. I am going to be utterly fucking broke. That sucks. But thankfully, as of next month, we're about 37 days away. I need to get a countdown app going. Let's do that. I need a countdown app. On the 25th of April, Chloe will be here. And I cannot fucking believe it. And we will have an additional income, which is going to be really nice. We are hoping that Chloe is able to get a job that does FSA so that we can purchase diapers through that. If they work for the same company that Andrew works for, they will have an FSA, which would be perfect. We're just going to get a really simple countdown app here. And we will count down to when I get here. So yeah, so it's like yesterday I spent a lot of time kind of researching, thinking like through the diapers that I know of, what would be best. Kind of thinking, should I go with a daytime diaper and a nighttime diaper? But then I'm like, I have to have something that absorbs quick and a lot because my bladder can push out 800 mils in 5 seconds flat. And also, I have liquid stool, so it needs to be able to absorb what it can very, very quickly. And diapers are not meant to absorb poop, so it's kind of a problem. And there is the thought of, well, we could go cloth diaper, but I personally don't have the energy to deal with cloth diapers because we would need about probably given the wetting and messing. When I was doing cloth diapers before, I was going through about 4 a day. And that was like ones that were super thick. So if I were to knock that down, I would probably be changing 10 times a day. So we would need a lot of diapers. And I personally don't want to deal with poopy cloth diapers. That's a hassle that I don't want to deal with. And so, yeah. But, would it be cheaper in the long run? Probably. Um, I could put a couple thousand into the diapers and then, all we have to do is pay for electricity and water to wash them. However, that's expensive too. Now, that's what we're gonna do. A circle. I wish I had oh wait, I can do slightly more green. There we go. Ta-da! Save. 35 days. Yep. We are exactly 35 days. That's pretty cool. But yeah, so I just spent a lot of time yesterday. I'll spend some time doing it today. And kind of figuring out what gets purchased next month. And then probably will use a secondary bag that I already have as a diaper bag for now. Until Chloe's here and can kind of choose and look around and see what we like. But for that, we can just do a simple backpack, and I have a couple of those somewhere. I think I might have gotten rid of them. But like last year, I got a backpack for like $3 from Walmart on clearance when school season was over, and I got a Minecraft one, I got a Mario one. I had a bunch of them, so we'll probably do something like that again this year when they go on sale. But yeah, it's a lot of stress kind of figuring things out. Also, I have to buy bed pads like for my bed because no offense, I don't want to be washing sheets every 5 minutes. Thankfully, I'm not leaking through too bad, but nighttime is a little iffy. Last night I didn't. Well, I was awake until 8, so I wasn't asleep for that diaper change or for that mess. So it didn't get all over my bed. But a lot of times, if I'm asleep when the accident happens, it gets kind of messy. So currently, I'm using a fleece blanket to protect the bed as much as I can. It doesn't work for liquids. Liquids go right through it, but it at least keeps any actual like solids, which I don't have much of because I'm tube fed, but there's still residue. Um, Keeps that off of my sheets, and I don't have to wash as often if I use a cover. I could technically make these on my own, but it's going to be more expensive for sure. Right now, PUL is expensive fabric. It's like 20 something dollars a yard. Um, and that's just the PUL. That's not anything else. So it's a lot. It is a lot. I am not looking forward to spending most of my income on diapers. Thankfully, on a lot of things I do have to purchase are things that will last, like bed pads and plastic pants type of deal. Those will last a while, so I don't have to purchase those very often. It's just the diapers itself that are like the diapers and wipes and butt cream. Um, Currently, I just use Huggies wipes. That might change. We'll see what we decide later on. Um, but yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to like mentally get the things I need for this. But I am kind of adjusting to it. It's getting to be more normal. I'm still embarrassed as heck, like when I'm in my Discord group that is not ABDL or diaper related. Like, I hope to God I can mute before the noise happens. Typically my mic won't pick that up because I do have noise cancellation on. Typically it doesn't pick it up, but as we like to say, TMI here, but I have no colon and the gas is real when you are tube fed. Um, so it's that because you can't just like for me, I don't really just pass gas almost ever. I have to be in a very specific position with a completely empty bowl in front of the gas so before it for it to not cause a mess. That's a very rare thing for me. Very, very rare. So um I always just try to make sure I mute as soon as it starts doing it so that they don't hear it because like my own Discord server, well, it's not mine, it's my partner's, but in our Discord server we're not too worried about that because people that are there know we kind of give them a heads up on that type of thing with me, like, hey, this is what this is stuff that can go on, you know. um and obviously most of the people I'm friends with are very understanding of medical issues, but still it's like you're not going to poop on call with somebody. At least I don't. I mute my mic if I'm going to go to the bathroom. Sometimes I'll leave my headphones on just to listen to the chat, but I don't keep my mic on. But it's the same situation, you mute. Like as soon as I start having an accident, I mute my mic. But the group I am in is a very, very sweet, understanding group. So, oh, Leo, Simon, whoever you are, you just farted in my face, dude. The first time, like, did I just mess myself? No, it's the cat. He farted. You little stinker. But yeah. So another thing with dealing with this new development is going into it with little side. So for me, I have theories, but my little side is very much like a separate entity in my brain. Um, I can visually see him in there. I kind of have sometimes conversations with him in there. Um, I swear, being like that sometimes being an ABDL or an age regressor with a very true little side like that is much like having multiple or the DID or multiple personality syndrome type of deal. Um, but For example, the other day Big Me was just pissed off at the world, at the situation. Like, I was just pissed off that I was having to deal with the bowel incontinence. And my little side doesn't understand that. My little side's like, my little side's not usually in charge of that side of things. Like, he's just does his thing, you know. I'm the one that's being like, okay, we need to get up and go to the bathroom, things like that. He would just go on with his day. And if I am regressed enough and letting that little side out fully, like being the one in control, he completely ignores body signals. 100%. So when we were doing like like we were seeing more true full regression with me, I do have that. Hello. I did have the issue of not paying attention to body signals. You like you like gloves. But we I have to deal with the fact of getting that side to like that side just doesn't understand the anger and the upset of what's going on. So it's an interesting brain conversation that goes on when it happens. But yeah, it's an interesting battle to be in because it's just like while it's kind of normal for me, it's still slightly different than I'm used to. You know, normally um I'm used to having the sensation of needing to and being able to respond to that. So having it be different is a little bit nerve wracking for me. But yeah. Uh, wow. I need to eat something because my feeding tube is trying to, or my stomach is trying to digest my feeding tube, and it hurts. But yeah, working on coming to terms with that. Conversations with a 1 year old little side aren't exactly. I mean, it's not like the typical 1 year old necessarily. In brain, he can kind of talk a bit, but getting that side to understand what's going on, why I'm upset about it, you know, is hard. But also using that side to cope with things, you know, helps to some degree. You know, I'm not stressing out as much about it if they could just let the little side deal with the shit. I get a little less embarrassed. I still get embarrassed, but a little less embarrassed when they're dealing with it because they just don't care. They're just little. They don't understand it. They don't know what it means to be put in shit like that. But yeah, that's kind of what my week's been like. I am gonna go ahead and go now that we're through with meds. They're gonna start kicking in here pretty quick, and I need to get something to eat because otherwise, my gotta love my stomach working for trying to digest my feeding tube, but it won't digest food. Not that it really doesn't actually try to digest it per se, but peristalsis happens when I'm hungry and it pulls the tube in and out. you know. So it is like it's trying to digest. And it hurts and is annoying. So we give it food because at least it can try on that and it won't hurt so much as if it's trying on the tube. So yeah. But I'm gonna go find a snack. I think probably I don't know what I got. I don't know what I got. Annoyingly, we don't have the car today, so we can't go anywhere to look for said things. Yeah, that's what's up. So, but if you guys have any suggestions for different products that work for you guys, I am probably going to stick with Tykables as diapers because I love them. They are comfortable, they fit perfect, and they function. So, probably going to stick with that. But as far as like covers and things go and whatnot, if you have any suggestions, definitely let me know because I'm open to suggestions. For now, I'm going to be going with some stuff on Amazon, I think, and try that out. Well, I'm so happy. My incision is about maybe 2 days from being completely healed. It's only been 9 months getting this thing to close up, and it's finally at that point where it's just a teeny tiny, like quarter inch of a sliver, which makes me happy. Even though it looks like a second belly button, it's okay. I don't care what my belly looks like. I have enough scars. But yeah, that's what's up. I'm gonna go do the things. If I get really bored later, I might come on while I do some craft stuff and whatnot because I gotta work on some 2D pads and things like that. Simon, stop pulling your hair out, my guy. Stop it. That's not good for you. But yeah, let go. Come on, there you go. So, anyway, guys, I will see you all later. Have an awesome day. Do something that makes you happy. And I'll catch